About 40 seconds away till they get into position. These are Robinson R22 helicopters. In the scheme of things, they're very simple and very inexpensive, but they demonstrate the absolute fascination that Igor Sikorsky had with rotary winged flight. Igor Sikorsky is the father of the modern helicopter, and his company still is building helicopters to this day, including the UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter that's flown by the Coast Guard, the Navy, and the Marine Corps, and the Navy, as well as the Air Force. High and overhead. Take a look as these guys get ready to power it down, and they're going to go into auto rotation. And the smoke comes on. Watch them as they pull back on the power, letting their collectives in their left hands go down. They are now turning the power off to the rotors, and they are descending with Jim Cheatham in the yellow helicopter and Bob Bolton, both from Salinas, California, in the white helicopter. This is a maneuver called auto rotation. They just make sure they have enough speed to keep that rotor inertia turning the rotor as they descend at a very, very gentle 30 miles per hour down, and they can then pull up and land it on a dime, and you'll see that just a little bit later. Coming through 600 feet. Jim Leroy, ladies and gentlemen, taxiing by as the Showcopters continue to descend. The Bulldog, give him a wave, everybody, as the Showcopters brake left and right. Jim Leroy in that beautifully painted helmet by Gary Hess Designs. Does a lot of NASCAR helmets as well. Lycon aircraft engines and Lycoming parts. As the Showcopters set up now, looking at one another. Bob Bolton and Jim Cheatham setting up now as they maneuver these helicopters 90 degrees to the flight path and another 90 degrees, so they're backing up to one another, setting up for the reverse loop. Watch as they cross, the smoke will come on, and they'll pull up on the collectives, gaining altitude and getting ready to complete, each of them complete half of the reverse loop. The only helicopter formation team crossing over at the top and the smoke comes off. Only formation helicopter team in the United States today. They're going to set up now for the 180 smokeout. Although flying a helicopter has been described as standing on a beach ball and rubbing your head and patting your tummy at the same time, it ain't easy. Watch them now as they cross over one another, make a big circle, draw that smoke circle in the sky, and bug out. Lots of that Corvus oil smoke there for you. With a maximum speed of only about 125 miles per hour. As they set up now for the opposing screw-ups. Now this is not a mistake. They're actually going to make kind of a screw in the sky as they reach one another and now point at one another and rotate around the axis, and there you have the screw-ups, the opposing screw-ups. Ladies and gentlemen, give the Showcopters a nice hand. Down to the left, the Sabre jets are taking off, getting ready for their heritage flight, and their demonstration is Bob Bolton and Jim Cheatham, the Showcopters. Bob Bolton in the white helicopter, Jim Cheatham in the yellow helicopter, nose to nose, do their wagon wheel maneuver. These guys are busy with their feet on the anti-torque pedals to control the anti-torque rotor. Their left hand on the collective. To go up, they pull up. To go down, they let it down. They've got a throttle like a motorcycle on the left hand, and on the right hand, they have the cyclic, like a joystick. But watch them as they do that climb, and there they head off to the side. Now, it's time once again to go live to the cockpit, and let's talk to Jim Cheatham. Jim, we've got you live, sir. Say hi to the crowd.
Hello, everybody. This is Jim Cheatham. I'm talking to you from the yellow helicopter. This is Marty Machine. You look at the one out in front of you there. This is Bob Bolton in Southern California. Cymax guy, this is pilot and friend. We're going to give you a little lesson how to fly a helicopter. Pay attention, kids. In your left hand there, you got a little stick that you hold like application in left hand. It's called the collective pitch. That's how you make it go up and down. And it changes the pitch of the main rotor blades collectively. So it adds angle of attack, gives you lift. So rotary wing aircraft. So Bob, can you pull up on it for him and show what happens when you pull up on it? It's like holding a suitcase in your left hand. Pull it up, it comes up, and when you put it down, it goes down. So that's how you make a helicopter go up and down. Now, you got to talk about how you make it go where you want it to go. You do that by controlling the tilt. In your right hand, you've got a cyclic pitch control. Changes the pitch of the main rotor blades. It makes you tilt left or right. And whichever way you tilt it, that's the way it goes. So if you tilt it left, with the left application of that cyclic stick, there you go left. If you tilt it back the other way with the little right, goes to stop, it starts going right. Same thing works for fore and aft or any other direction that you want to face. So that's how you make a helicopter go whichever way you want it to go. And you know, it'll go backwards, bring the nose up, goes to stop, and starts going backwards. The rotor system does not care which way the tail boom is pointing. But think about that. Down the end of the tail rotor there, on the tail boom, you got a tail rotor. That little thing on the end, Bob can wiggle it at you. That's an anti-torque device. And if you didn't have one of those, it would start spinning around like this. Because for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction, right, kids? Yeah. Well, but he does have it. He controls it with his feet. He changes the pitch in that blade. And he can make it counteract the torque. So if he pushes in a bunch of left pedal, it'll pull it around against the torque, which takes more power. And so that's all it controls the helicopter. And when you start pushing together, you can play around like Bob's doing. And we like to have fun, you know. There's no law against having fun in a helicopter, folks. And while he's doing that, I'm going to direct your attention upstairs here. And I'm up at 2,000 feet right now. And make a little smoke circle so you can see me. Then what I'm going to do is show you why I'd rather be in a helicopter if the engine quits than in an airplane, because I can put it in your backyard if I have to. Put it on. So what we do is I'm going to, as I get around this circle here, I'm going to shut the engine back to an idle. It'll be disengaged from the rotor system. And I'm going to enter on rotation. Helicopter version of the glide. You might notice it gets a little quieter up here right now. And it's just coming down. It's windmilling, but usually I can spin it to the right. Try a little smoke here. See what's going on. And I can spin it to the right like this. I can stop it. I can spin it to the left by using those pedals we talked about. And I can even back it up. Fully under control. The only thing is that it is coming down. It's the helicopter version of a glide. I think if I did it the steepest way there just now, but it doesn't have to be quite that steep. What I'm going to do right now, by the time I get down to about 500 feet and check my energy status, I'm going to use some of this energy to make an easy landing. Energy of airspeed. I'm going to put the nose down, get some airspeed, and I'm going to judge my distance from my target, which happens to be right where Bob is sitting. Objective here right now is to land right beside Bob. Okay, as I get close, I'm going to bring the nose up, kill off some of that airspeed, ready to descend, and I'm going to level it off, and I'm going to, just as I get there, I'm going to apply a little bit of collective pitch. Touch down here right beside you. Now, folks, that's why I would much rather be in a helicopter if the engine quits than in any airplane. Okay, if you can give us a little helicopter music maestro, so we'll do you a little more of a helicopter dance before we go on in.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, how about a great round of applause for that amazing auto rotation done by Jim Cheatham and the Showcopters. Now, as they head out to the back course, as they do the rolling 360, stopping every 90 degrees of yaw, the traveling 360. Now going sideways at about 50 miles, 60 miles an hour. Watch them as they climb. And the smoke tends to get into the cockpit a little bit, so these guys keep it moving. A great demonstration of rotary winged flight in the Robinson R22 as they pull back on the cyclic, kick hard on the right anti-torque pedal. Now they back it up. There's that right anti-torque pedal that Bob's doing. Jim going backwards, Bob going forwards, and watch him make a barber pole around Jim as they head down the show line. Look at that great spiral, ladies and gentlemen. The only formation helicopter team in North America, the Showcopters. Pushing the cyclics down now, pulling now on the collective just a little bit, keeping the power up on that engine. Coming across show center, Jim and Bob with smoke on. Accelerating through 100 miles an hour right now. They literally have a clutch where they can disengage, as you saw during the auto rotation, disengage the rotor from the power. As they do an echelon turn with Bob Bolton working hard to stay just to the left and below and behind Jim Cheatham. A great echelon reversal for you, ladies and gentlemen. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the starburst break from the Showcopters. Jim Cheatham, Bob Bolton from Salinas, California. Let's give him a great big thank you for